Are your kidneys toxic? Do you have fatigue? Do you have kidney stones? Do you have failure? And what are some of the solutions? So, first part. So, let's start with these 17 signs you need to pay attention to or be aware of. And some of these are early warning signs. It might just be showing up a little bit here and there, and then they manifest later into real problematic kidney issues. And there's long names for those, which we'll go through a few of them. I don't want to bore you, but so fatigue is your first one. So waste products like urea will build up in the kidneys and they literally will steal your energy. Okay. You've got these teeny tiny little materials like a filter that take out different proteins. And if there's too much glucose in the system and too much urea in the system, those filters, those little tentacles are going to get destroyed. And then it leaks into the tissue around the kidneys. So it creates this edema or inflammation. So there's metallic taste in your mouth. And those are toxins that are circulating in your kidneys and in your blood system that are not clearing. So you'll have that metallic taste. Have you ever tasted like a penny? Probably like when you were a kid, maybe. And it doesn't taste good. And it can be slight or it can be pronounced. Itchy skin all over. That could be that you wake up in the middle of the night and you're just scratching itchy or your head's itchy, like everywhere in your body's itchy. That is a good sign that you have some kidney degeneration. Ammonia breath, that could be just a very strong odor coming from your mouth, not coffee breath, ammonia breath. And that would be when you exhale, when you breathe, you've got this really kind of, you might not even smell it. Somebody else might smell it and be like, your breath is pretty bad. And it's consistently pretty bad, even after you brush your teeth. Okay, swelling in the ankles. So this will happen when you press down on your skin. So say you go to sleep and you wake up and you push down on your foot and you have an indentation that lasts in there for 30 seconds or more. Now, if it lasts longer, there's some more severe kidney issues, but that's a good tool. If you are inflamed at night because you've been standing all day long and or teaching or doing busy things around the house or working, like standing on your feet, and your legs are slightly swollen, that would be general metabolic waste. So I wouldn't be as concerned about that. If you go to sleep, wake up in the morning and it's all gone, okay, or mostly gone. So puffiness under the eyes or above the eyes is a classic sign of kidney backup. What's called uremic frost. And these are white crystals on the skin. Those can be like teeny little raised bumps, kind of anywhere on the skin from uric acid buildup. You can also actually have the nails. There's always an association when they look at kidneys that they have a lot of ridges in it. And half of the bed is white. The rest of it is kind of pink. And there's a lot of ridges. Now, my nail's not a good example. But if you look at your nails, you can see, okay, do I have a lot of ridges? Does my nail bed, I don't know if I'm getting a good picture of that. I may be blurring it. Is my nail bed white? Is it red and white? Is it half red, half white? That could indicate some kidney issues. Okay, next one, number 8, high blood pressure. So blood pressure is one of the number one things that causes damage to the delicate kidney filters. So those are lots of different components within the kidney. There are teeny tiny little particles in there that do different jobs. So if you're waking up in the morning, I'll give you some tips. You'll find out that you might have a kidney issue if you have consistent, persistent high blood pressure and your diet's more on the processed side or high meats and high oxalate foods, which we'll go through in a minute. Okay, number 9, exhaustion. Just exhausted even after you sleep or even tired. So you've got moderate, which is like tired sometimes. You've got a little bit more extreme, which would be like tired most days, to exhaustion, which would be very extreme. So you look for that as a sign that you have some kidney damage or some kidney issues. Protein in the urine. Okay, so how this looks is if you took like a beaker or if you took a glass that was clear and you urinated into it, if you see foam on top, that will indicate that there's protein leaking through the kidney. And that will indicate that you've got some kidney damage, kidney issues going on. and that needs to be fixed. Now, sometimes your diet the day before or hormones can also change urine and make it a little bit more foamy. But if it's like, say you have this much, say you have this much urine that you've collected and this much is foam, that's a problem. It's going to be noticeable. And if there's like white particles in there, that's definitely protein. That means your body's not breaking it down. So, acid urine or a pH imbalance. So, you can take one of those urine strips, pee on it in the morning, and the ideal range is 6.0 to 7.5 pH. So, you don't want to be too acidic, you don't want to be too alkaline, you want to be right in the middle. And so, this would indicate that the kidneys are toxic, the balance is lost, and we need to make some changes within the kidney. So, next one, number 12, headaches. Headaches. Now, headaches can be associated to a plethora of things, but if you have a few of these things, you might want to consider the kidneys as an issue and you might want to clean them up. So sometimes these are linked to oxalate buildup or toxin buildup that hasn't been pushed out. Now, you can also get headache if you go into a building where there's mold and you're sensitive to mold. Like if you've had exposures before and you re-expose yourself, you're going to feel a headache because it's a toxin for your body. So those are other issues, but something to pay attention to if you normally get headaches or headache at a certain time of day, probably related to kidneys. Joint pain, number 13, or pseudo-gout. So that means calcium oxalate or calcium phosphates crystallize in the joints. So those can go fingers, toes, traditionally. It feels like gout, there's swelling and pain, but it's not driven by uric acid. It's driven by calcium oxalates and calcium phosphates. Okay, so 14, vitamin D. Persistent, consistent low vitamin D levels, even if you're supplementing. So kidneys can't activate it if they're congested. All right. So we want to make sure we'll go through tips, but one tip would be make sure you're taking adequate vitamin D with K when you have food, not by itself. Okay, next, number 15 is osteoporosis or weak bones, meaning like if you barely fell and you broke a bone, that would, indicate you probably have osteoporosis as opposed to like a bigger fall, falling off a bike, mountain biking, or so forth. That's a different scenario. So if you break bones easily, that's osteoporosis. That can indicate that there's low activation of vitamin D from the kidneys, and then calcium that's not being absorbed properly, and that's leading to bone loss, even if you're taking calcium supplements. Okay. 16, muscle cramping, muscle pain. So toxic overload and electrolyte imbalance, those are minerals, and that's sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium, help to balance the strain of the muscle out. And you might have, there's some really cool tests, which we'll talk about, but you can test where your micronutrients are, and we can do those when we do a session together. We can load up a really good toxic analysis as well as your mineral analysis and see what is out of balance and what do we need to supplement with so that your body can get back into good alignment. 17, urinary or genital pain. And that could be like uterus, that could be other areas of the body, that could be bladder feeling. That would be from irritation from stones, oxalates, or waste products. So if there's waste products that you're not clearing out, you're going to have some organ pain, some referring organ pain. I'm Sarah King Feldman, and I have been doing this for 20 years, helping people overcome complicated health issues. So this content is really just an overview of things that you can use to get yourself well. If you liked this, you can join the Health Freedom Members Call every Wednesday by clicking the link or looking at the description and joining the membership. If you need more hand-holding, meaning like you need more one-on-one care, you can go to my website, foodbeautiful.com, and click the virtual link, schedule the virtual link. That would be initial virtual session. And you can join in a call. We'll do a full-on body scan, identify root causes, create a protocol and action steps on how to achieve this. So either way will serve you. I would say pick one, go after it. You can go check us out on YouTube, on Facebook, hit subscribe